Well, thank you. Here's what I want to start off by saying. What exactly is the issue here? What exactly is the impeachable issue here? The Ukrainian president said no pressure, no quid pro quo. He didn't even know military aid was temporarily withheld. The president has every right to temporarily withhold military aid for any damn reason he wants to. And it's been done before by other presidents. The phone call itself. We have the phone call itself. The president declassified it. You can't find a single tie between military aid and a request for the 2016 investigation. And even if you do, it's perfectly legal. But there isn't. There isn't. Now, you can't ask the Ukrainian government to assist you in the 2016 criminal investigation that's being led by your Attorney General and U.S. Attorney Durham. Of course you can. Even though it might get to the bottom of the Hillary campaign and the DNC that worked with Ukraine in the Obama administration, the President of the United States is free to do that. And if he did do that, good for him. You can't mention the Bidens. Why? Because Joe Biden's running for office for the 412th time? Well, Mueller got assistance from 13 governments in his special counsel investigation, and I don't remember hearing a single complaint from anybody. Just because somebody's running for office doesn't mean they're immune from investigations. And the President of the United States said it as passively as possible. Meanwhile, Ukraine got the military aid, and the Bidens are still running free. Now, you want to talk about interfering with an election? Biden's interfering with an election. He supports impeaching the president. Doesn't that help his election? The Democrats are interfering with the election. That's the whole purpose of what they're doing. They're trying to reverse the 2016 election and influence the 2020 election. How do I know? This is the first time in American history a process like this, so bastardizing the impeachment clause, has ever been used against a president, a federal judge, or any official of the United States government. So there's no issue of impeachment, high crimes, misdemeanors, treason, bribery, no issue of criminality when it comes to the president. So what's the issue? Now, we have found the rat's nest. It's in the National Security Council. The whistleblower, according to a number of reports, as you've been saying here tonight, comes off the National Security Council, an Obama holdover, a Democrat, somebody who worked with Biden, somebody who worked with Brennan, an Obama holdover who didn't like Trump, who met with one of the active figures in the Ukraine effort to undermine the President of the United States in 2016. We have two others who now were hired by Schiff, Obama holdovers who were in the Trump National Security Council. Now they work for Schiff, and how much you want to bet one of them was the one that he colluded with? And of course, Schiff doesn't know anything about it. You want to know why the President of the United States has had trouble bringing his own people into the National Security Council and getting clearances? Now you know why. Because it was a rat's nest. Then we have, and by the way, I think U.S. Attorney Durham and the Attorney General of the United States ought to have an investigation of these three National Security Council former staffers. What role, if any, did they have in the Ukraine 2016 matter interfering with the election? What role did they have pushing the Russia collusion matter? Were they leakers? I think the criminal investigation, the hell with Schiff. They ought to get into these three and find out exactly what they did, and there may be more of them. Then we have Lieutenant Colonel Vindman. You can trash Mike Flynn, you can trash Ollie North, you can trash Gabbard, you can trash anyone who served in the media, in the military, but not Lieutenant Colonel Vindman. You know, deep inside that New York Times piece, Sean, it said that Colonel Vindman had provided advice to the Ukrainian government, and mostly in English. What the hell does that mean? He's working for the Commander-in-Chief of the United States. He's on the National Security Council. He's an active-duty lieutenant colonel. Why are you giving advice to Ukraine? Nobody's following up on that. I'm just curious, what was that all about? Now, Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff, you are a key fact material witness. You hired those two Obama staffers. Your staffers, or one of them, met with the former national security staffer to the President of the United States. You're trying to protect your staffers. You're trying to protect this phony whistleblower. And you're trying to protect the Democrats from 2016 and what they tried to do to candidate Trump. It's all in Politico. It's all in the New York Times, even though they don't want to admit it. Now, Donald Trump's been investigated by the Southern District of New York, by the special counsel. He's been investigated by multiple committees of Congress. Hundreds of subpoenas have been issued against him, his businesses, his taxes, his bank accounts, his family members. But Joe Biden, whoa, You can't interfere with the election. Joe Biden's running for office again. He's been running for office since he's 9 years old. Now he's 103. Joe's running again. You're not willing to look to Joe Biden. That's interfering in a foreign election. Oh, sure it is. And by the way, you can't ask foreign governments for help? Well, how do you get help in investigating somebody when the events occurred overseas? The FBI does this all the time. We investigate people for drug prosecutions, embezzlement prosecutions, money laundering, with the assistance of foreign governments all the time. The President of the United States hasn't done anything at all. And by the way, why do the Democrats keep lying? Here's what they passed today, 7.5 pages of BS. Here's what they did in 1998, a long discussion of the President's rights. The President has a right to counsel, to cross-examine, to have his own witnesses, and so forth and so on. You know what they said today? They said the committee, the chair of the Committee on Rules, including such procedures, has to allow for the participation of the President and his counsel. How did they get to participate? We don't know. This is the biggest, disgusting scandal, and it's all on the Democrat Party that has hijacked the impeachment process, our tax dollars, the House of Representatives, to push their 2020 election. That's what's going on. That's it.